Good afternoon and welcome to the Parochial Hall. I'm here with Paul Kelleher and we're going to have the second semi-final of the National Cup. That's NUIG Mystics versus Limerick Sport Huskies. We're looking forward to a really good game here, Paul.
Yeah, I'm actually fascinated by this game, considering that UL have the two top leading scorers in Uleska and Taylor Hurd on their team in the league. And then you also have the interior presence of NUIG with Sarah Miller, Allison and Maggie Byrne, and they've been dominant in that game. So if we go back to the October game, it was a 60-65 win for NUIG at UL, and it was a close one. All players hit their averages, so I'm very excited about this game today.
Yeah, I think you're dead right that the majority of scoring is coming from the two Americans for the UL Huskies, and Mystics would have a bigger spread on the scores. But yeah, it's looking like a really exciting game ahead.
As Mike had to play goalkeeper there for a second. So what's going to be interesting here is actually how the point guard battle here. Obviously Hazel Finn, averaging over 17 a game, and then you have Taylor Hurd, who's been pushed to point as opposed to Kathy Grant. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here in terms of the two 17-point scorers in the league, really.
Absolutely. Hazel has been exceptional, as with Cara McLean. They're really good young players, and they have such a great future in the game.
Yeah, and I like too that this matchup in here is Uleska coming down the floor and showing her threat early, albeit off the back of the glass. But the thing I like about this game right here is you're seeing a bunch of Irish internationals coming up from the youth ranks as well. So it's showing the progress that a lot of our players are making into the senior section, which is great.
Yeah, and they play a flowing type of game of basketball, which is it's an attractive game. It's really nice to look at.
Yep, and UL in the zone early, and a nice little flash there from in the channel from
Cara McLean. Yeah, Cara McLean, that's one of the leading scorers for them as well. And again, a young player, and so this Paul has been an item on their game all year long. The pressure that they put up, they're averaging 12-13 point or steals a game, which is massive for the guards.
That's huge. That's on average, obviously, as a 2.25 steals per quarter, which really disrupts any sort of thought process in the offense. So that's a nice little number there, right there too. NUIG trying to find holes in the UL zone. Those table tennis fouls are always very dodgy when it comes to from a coaching perspective. So yeah, an early one there shows the effort from both sides, which is going to be great. I think when we talk about the guard matchups and the spread of scoring, UL have heavily relied on two players in Taylor Hurd and Uleska, and they're averaging collectively 45.26, whereas there's more of a spread on the NUIG with a 45.53 with Cara, Courtney and Hazel. So it's a bit of a case of pick your poison, and there's Hazel on cue trying to hit a three, but nice little effort and chasing it in. And Taylor's in the open floor, and I think this is the only way UL really have a chance of staying in the game is by playing open floor basketball. Nice little assist by Taylor.
Nice assist by Taylor, and 2 points.
But interestingly, it's the internal battle, Mike, that I think is going to really dictate this game. There's a 27.43 between the bench and the starters in NUIG, which is a huge amount. But there's only a 5.4 between the starters and everybody else in UL. So that's a significant makeup that UL have to find. And that's why I think the only chance they have of really staying in this game early especially is by playing an open floor game.
Yeah, and the depth of the bench has been something that has paid for them all year long. They've had really strong third and fourth quarters all year. They've sometimes struggled to actually start really well, but their third and fourth quarters have been strong for them.
Yeah, I think one thing that UL might need to look at is actually trying to get to the line if they can't get the open floor. Uleska's averaging 87% from the free throw line and Taylor is averaging 84. So if they can't get out in the open floor, being assertive, trying to get to the line and getting score when the clock is stopped, so they can stay in the game as best they possibly can.
Yeah, for sure. And drawing those fouls early is something that sometimes they can get into trouble from shoot. But the problem is if they leave the likes of Courtney, who's just after taking the two, But if they leave her or Hazel or any of those open on the outside, they're going to take that shot all day long.
Yeah, and the zone early seems to have worked for you well, because
it's a really tough move from Alison Blaney right there.
Nice little floater.
Nice floater.
And I think that floater it needs to be part of anybody's arsenal. And there's Taylor. She's averaging 6 attempts a game. So she's definitely going to get 3 up in the last game. She was 4 for 6 against NUIG. So hopefully she'll be 4 for 5 for the next couple. So yeah, and obviously Taylor played with our very own Adele Thornton at Quinnipiac as well on those Sweet 16 runs. So she has a lot of experience also.
Yeah, absolutely, she really does. Hey.
I think NUIG have really tried to move the ball well, and they've gotten into that.
That's Cara McLean with that layoff, so drive in the centre and that little dish underneath Ali Blaney, and that's a lovely 2 from Ali again.
And they've been doing that relatively well so far against the zone. Nice little drive by Uleska. Off balance a small bit as a contested shot. And now NUI are in the 5v4.
That's a lovely dish from Courtney right there. That's a really nice assist to Cara McLean from Courtney from the top, and it's a timeout for Limerick.
6 minutes 32 seconds to the first quarter.
And we're back here at Parochial Hall with the NUIG Mystics getting a nice start and leading 8-2 with 6:32 left in the first quarter. So Paul, what do you think of that first 4 minutes?
I think NUIG did a really good job of ball movement and trying to attack those little dunker spots in behind the channel. And they've obviously haven't hit their rhythm from a shooting perspective yet, but if they do, I think UL could be in a spot of bother early. But I think we might have heard that they might be switching to a man-to-man, so we'll see what their next defensive possession is like.
Yeah, I think they're getting worried about the way they're attacking in that zone, and I think they're possibly going to change up their D. We'll see.
Abercross still stuck in this middle, so they're still in the zone, it looks like. And those sort of penetration, like that's man-to-man principle, you still got to be really good at, whether it's zone or man-to-man, and they're just not defending the ball as good as what they should be right now.
In fairness, that was really good defence there from Courtney Cessair, number 12, on that drive.
Yeah, nice little low high.
Nice tip.
Nice low high.
Really nice job from number 21, Sarah Messler, with a nice 2.
Yeah, like Sarah Messler has been averaging 13 points a game as well. So, I mean, she's been doing a really good job all year. Taylor getting the shot fake and nice little roll, mid-roll, roll there to Avril, nice little spin move to finish. Abercross. So I think UL, like Sophie Moore is averaging over 11 points a game right now, and she hasn't seen enough of the ball, and I think she's a really good shooter. Sister of Nate Moore, who's over in the States right now, also played in a couple of Irish teams. So I think that just to get an extra touch and extra threat might open some stuff up for Uleska on penetration.
Yeah.
As of now, they haven't done that to Sophie Moore. And there she is on the ball on cue.
One thing that's deceptive about the guards for NUIG Mystics as well is they actually hit the boards all the time. You'll see the likes of Hazel Finn and Cara McLean hitting the boards all the time, which is something that's not really expected all the time.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Cara's averaging 5.5 rebounds a game, Courtney's averaging 4, and Hazel's averaging 3. So I mean, that's the sort of effort that you need from your guards, really, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's Sophie Moore. They must have heard us. Nice little effort from
Anya McDonough has entered the game, number 8 for NUIG, and Cara McLean has exited.
The one thing I think UL have done is they've actually transitioned defence relatively well. They've only given up 2 points in transition so far, but it's their actual half court and their on ball stuff is actually letting them down. And UL have done, or NUI have done a really good job in terms of picking it apart when the on ball defence hasn't been there. But UL really need to take advantage of those transition looks when they get the chance. And Kathy Grant with a nice offensive rebound.
Nice offensive rebound, yeah, for sure. There's one thing about it.
Nice
They seem to be struggling slightly on getting that ball inside. They're trying to push it in, but NUIG are actually defending that inside ball really well.
And that's the problem, is that they don't their trend this year hasn't been an inside game, and they're taking away Uleska and they've made her put the ball on the floor, and they've taken away Taylor and they've no inside game, and that was probably obviously the obvious game plan in terms of NUIG coming into this game. So I think NUI have done a really good job of that.
It's a foul on Sarah Messler.
So the last 2 possessions, UL have attacked the channel and they've gotten 2 fouls, and that's what we spoke about earlier on in terms of Taylor and Juleska trying to get the free throw line a little bit better. So as the team fouls rack up, there's 4 minutes left. NUI are on 3, so one more and 2 more fouls and UL will be on the line.
Yeah, and here's Maggie Byrne into the game.
And Maggie herself has actually been quite significant in her contribution this year. 5.6 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.4 assists a game. That's a significant contribution off the bench that NUIG are going to have from Maggie Byrne.
Absolutely. Maggie's an extremely smart player. She tends to be a high post player, and she distributes the ball really well throughout the whole team. And
that's the thing I think in the modern game right now, people are forgetting that you don't have to be a 3-point shooter to be able to play in the 3-point line. Absolutely. You just need to be able to understand how to play at the 3-point line and make significant contributions. So timeout coming from NUIG.
Timeout from NUIG as they lead 10-4 with 3:35 left in the first.
So we're back here now, and it's underneath out of bounds, and let's see what UL can muster up here to see can they get an uncontested shot. So I've crossed the penetration, and they've gotten an awful lot of joy in the last 3 possessions from the channel drives there.
Yeah, they have, and they've been tough shots now in fairness, but listen, these teams are very close, they're very well matched, and they're well able to take. That's a really nice move from Alison Blaney there. Nice strong move to the hole.
And Alison has actually attacked that in 2 of the last 4 possessions, and they've gotten some joy off that themselves, NUIG. So 2 areas now that both teams have potential to identify to attack.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think we're going to see the same here. Low blocks going to pop out as will the wing, and then see what they try and do to get Taylor coming off it. But hasn't been very successful. NUIG have defended it relatively well so far.
Yeah, good hands from Anya McDonough there. With the NUIG have put in some subs, and they haven't really lost any of the intensity. So that's
the
pretty good.
The fluency is a little off, but not the intensity,
yeah.
and that So we'll see how it goes. They've lost a bit of their scoring. So 6-point game, 12-6 to NUIG.
The winner of this game will meet Temple Oak, who overcame Thunder earlier on in the last game. Quite a competitive game. They ended up winning by 6 in the end.
And there's a third one. There's a third one on that channel now.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an East versus West final regardless.
Yep.
So the ball movement has slowed down from NUIG. They hurt UL early in the game because the tempo which they moved the ball and gone into those gaps, that has stopped now and become a bit more deliberate. So we spoke earlier about Taylor getting to the line. She's an 84% free throw shooter, and she makes these two, and it gets back to 10. Or sorry, back to a 2-point game, 12-10.
From a coach's point of view, Paul, when you see that you have 60 points coming from two players, it sometimes makes your job a bit easier, doesn't it? Like, you know, if you have the capabilities of marking those players, you sometimes can take away a percentage of that, which, you know, which is something that Paul, I think, will be thinking of doing.
Oh, no question,
Yeah.
you know, and I think obviously with Ieska off the floor, she's about to come back in and think that, but I think we've both had the experience where we felt like that, and somebody comes off the bench that hasn't hit scores all year and they've buried us. So I can think of two specific games, and both of them are Switzerland actually in the last couple of years. So it's yeah. So Taylor hitting 1 for 2 brings it back to a 3-point game. 12-9 NUIG. So
That's where Maggie, sorry Paul, that's where Maggie Byrne really comes to her fore. She actually rules the top of the key, and she has played a long time with Hazel and the other girls, and they know how to run off her, and the different lanes that they take gives really good options.
yeah, and that time spent together is very underestimated. Like, and there she is coming off the back screen right there. So, but even off that rejected ball screen last, you know, Kathy got beat too easily off the dribble. Aver had to come down, take it, and that freed up and allowing Maggie be high, which obviously if she had kicked it back would have been a major strength for Maggie, and they would have got another advantage off of that. So, you know, rejecting the ball screen with Maggie popping might be something that they're going to look at as UL have gone to man-to-man.
Maggie misses the first.
The game slowed down, Mike. There was a bit of tempo the first 5-6 minutes, but it's slowed down, and I think it's hurt the game. I think the skill sets of all these players will really benefit if the tempo increases. And Uleska just obviously hitting the open floor and drawing a foul, and she's going to go to the line for 2 shots as well.
Number 22, Maggie Byrne. That's her second personal foul.
They're in team fouls now with 2:17 left in the first. And she's going to the line for 2.
So,
Makes the first.
12-10. And there we are. It's a 1-point game. So, a couple of things that we spoke about early in the game was you will keep the tempo up and potentially get to the free throw line, and they've done that relatively okay the last 3-4 minutes and it's gotten them back in the game. NUIG haven't hit the three, have yet to be successful from the 3-point line. There's another run out by UL, and that's their go-to right now, and they're taking the lead for the first time in the game.
Yeah, the issue is that they haven't actually hit their threes yet. You know, they do tend now, even from their stats, they take a high amount of threes, but their percentage isn't high. I think they're only like 23-24% from the 3-point line.
Right. And there's Sophie Moore now in the off-balance shot.
Great. Tough rebound there from Courtney Césaire.
Yeah. So, like, one of the things I think that as young players, you know, especially when you're a leading scorer, is the subs coming in both sides, but just trying to get the shot up regardless of whether you're on balance or not. And that's the one thing I kind of echo the entire time. It's about being unbalanced, in rhythm and uncontested, and they're very same for layups. I think people tend to be a little different from perimeter shooting rather than layup shooting. But you still want to be uncontested as much as you possibly can and on balance.
Yeah.
And so if we didn't do that in the last possession, and we also have another thing: missed layups aren't just missed layups; they inevitably lead to a run out the other end or a foul. And that's what happened with UL. The last one ends up fouling. Nice solid rebound.
And this is what's happening when we're missing those shots. When NUIG are missing shots, they're being attacked straight away afterwards, and they've hit 4 or 5 baskets on that fast break.
And now Hazel's trying to get her same wonderful finish with the left hand.
Really tough left hand finish right there. And a nice steal here from Cara. Oh!
And just to be called for a bit of tempo, we've gotten it, Mike.
Yeah.
the first quarter is about teasing each other out, especially in the semi-final. So it's never going to be, probably an open game. But I certainly think that UL have not taken advantage of the amount of 4v2s that they've got from the missed shots at NUIG. What will be interested is if NUIG start making shots, have UL got the ability to kind of put NUIG's defence under pressure from quick inbounds, or will they slow it down to be a half-court thing? Lovely little back screen by Maggie, and a nice little pass.
That's a really nice little pass on the inside. From what you said there a moment ago, Paul, I don't believe that's the case. I think what they've done is they've got a lot of fast break baskets from missed shots.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
And I think when they are setting it up, I think they're having more difficulty.
Oh, no question. Yeah. But like even when you saw it there, off the mid layup, UL struggled to get the ball in, and they were in the half court defense and half court offense, which they obviously didn't do a very good job and turned it over.
So 45 left in the first, 45 seconds left in the first quarter. NUIG Mystics are leading UL Huskies 16-13. Maggie Byrne on the ball up high.
And she's looking for that backdoor cut. Just lifts the pivot foot.
Good call from the referee. Just a slight little error.
We're not supposed to give referees credit, Mike.
Sometimes.
And there's the tempo again.
So that's been a routine for them, hasn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
They get that, they push it really quick, and they look for that quick score off that.
Yeah, and that's their only way. I think that's their way because of the fact they have no interior offense. It's the way that they have to play the game. With that will come turnovers, but they're live turnovers to let them set up their defense. So that'll be interesting. And there's a foul again.
That's a foul that, as any coach hates, a silly foul on a 3-point shot, and puts her to the line for 3 with 11 seconds left in the first quarter.
So both teams on 5. There's only 11 seconds, so not a major advantage for any particular team right now, unless there's a foul next now. But
she makes the first, so 17-13.
So NUIG went down, 13-12, and that's kind of woke them up with the tempo a little bit in the last minute and a half, and they've pushed out the lead to probably their biggest lead of the quarter now.
Yeah, 18-13 right now. And she makes this, it's 19. It looks short.
Yeah, an offensive rebound. So what will UL do here now? And that has been the second steal like that in the last 4 possessions coming out of the backcourt from UL. So they've got to be really careful in how they're inbounding the ball.
Yeah. That's where we're looking at. That's why they have those stats and such a high amount of steals per game.
Mm-hmm.
The guards are really quick and smart.
So we got a long one.
That's a big long 3. So in fairness, wasn't too far away. So at the end of that first quarter, we're at 18-13. And we're back in the Parochial Hall for NUIG Mystics versus UL Sport Huskies. And it's a good start for Huskies with 2 points.
Yeah, nice little long half-court pass to the high post, and then just a little back cut off of that. The old pinch post or blind pig, as people call it. So, nice little job on that one. There we go. Same little thing. Reverse it. Miss layup. But Maggie doing a good job again in that high post and look for the back cuts.
Yeah.
In the man-to-man.
That's not an easy pass to make. That's a really tough
It's timing, and it's all knowing your personnel, who's quick, who's not, who's slow, who's able to take contact. All those sort of things need to come into those thought processes. So Ileska having a tough day now at the rim so far. Nice little finish there.
It's a tough finish from Anya McDonough. Anya McDonough for 2.
She's got the unenviable task of having to guard Ileska, but she's done a good job so far. Goes to the mismatch, have a cross. And there's a push. That's a frustration fall right there, Mike. That's like, I haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
You know, had a bit of a physical mismatch, pushed in the back, and
That's cup final days or cup semi-final days, isn't it? You know, you come in, you put a bit of pressure on yourself, and then all of a sudden it's not going your way, and you know it puts that extra little bit of pressure on.
Definitely. I mentioned last week, like I guess, like ability isn't the reason why people generally win at this level, where it's semi-final level. It's usually those that can handle the anxiety within the body the best. And right now, you know, Ileska just needs to find something simple to get her going, you know. And I think if she does, that could spell trouble for NUIG. It's also.
Coach O'Brien has given out a bit there that they're shouting when they're shooting the ball.
So you can see UL are really trying to put pressure to get in behind the defense of NUIG. The majority of the game so far, NUIG have had only 2 defenders back, while 3 defenders are slowly getting back from the front court into defense. So it's something that UL seem like they're trying to take advantage of, but haven't executed as well. Right now, NUI on the ball, and you can see they're really trying to go through Maggie, as you mentioned earlier, through the high post. Now she's stuck in the low block right now, and that's not where she has had her strength.
That's it. And that was actually created by Maggie too, because she was like using a screen at the top, and Anya was able to go around. Anya can go strong to the basket. Anya McDonough, number 8, she can go strong to the basket and drive strong.
Well, we've seen that the last 2 possessions, one from the open floor and one from a catch and go on the wing.
Alison Blaney has come out of the game there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
So that's 2 semi-contested layups now that NUIG have had to kind of blow the game open to a 10-point lead. Haven't taken advantage of it, but I think both teams haven't taken advantage of certain situations in the game so far, and I think it's the team that's going to try. There we go, there's a channel drive again. But it's a team I think that's going to start taking advantages more, because I think there is an opportunity for both teams to get on the semi-run here, and I think obviously UL have to get a semi-run to just get back within tie. But I think if NUI, it's danger time right now, that if NUIG can get a bit of a run and blow it out to 10 points, I can find it very difficult for UL to kind of get back right now.
I'd have to agree with you, and also like the percentages that they're working at right now, their percentages from their 3 is extremely low. Like they're like, I'd say their percentages are down at 10, 15, 20%.
If even that, I don't think they've made a 3 yet.
You know, so, and that is part of their game, so they will start hitting them. That is the thing. They will.
It's like those little those missed layups from Taylor and Uleska now early on in this quarter, like they need to be going in for them to stay in contention, you know.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, that last ball screen from Taylor, now she came off that and was very congested, you know. NUIG really congested the lane and didn't leave her getting into momentum, space or rhythm to whereas here that's been happening the entire game. There's been so much space in that area for NUI to get there, you know.
Yeah, that's Cara McLean in for 2.
That's a rushed one by Taylor. She's getting frustrated now too. So the 2 top scorers for UL showing frustration in their shot selection. And there's Sophie Moore. This is danger
That's
time.
That's a good rebound from Courtney.
Great
nice
pass across the
Great
range.
job. That's Courtney Cesare with the assist for Cara McLean. Another 2 from Cara McLean. That brings NUIG Mystics lead to 25-15.
So they were 1 for 2 from the free throw line. NUIG are currently on a 5-0 run, and they're at that 10-point barrier now.
Coach O'Brien has been running the players in and out. If you've noticed, he's been keeping these people fresh all the time, which is great. That's Hazel Finn back in the game now for Cara McLean.
Yeah. Whereas UL right now, they're kind of emptying the tank on a lot of players at the minute. You can see they're really switching on that now, and it's causing problems for Taylor on every ball screen.
It's a reaching foul on Anya McDonough, number 8. So 7 minutes left in the second quarter, and the lead 25-15 to NUIG Mystics.
Nice little back cut, and they're the ones again now. So it went from uncontested to semi-contested to fully contested layups, and now you got to run out and down.
And you got to run out.
And timeout coming. Timeout coming. So you will have a bit of work to do here, and we'll see you after the break.
And we're back here. Then UIG Mystics leading 27-15.
Yeah,
and now they're putting on a full court press.
Yeah, it's power play time now by NUIG, and they're looking for
and
it.
Hazel Finn in for 2. Super steal there.
Footwork actually on that catch and turn was actually quite nice by Hazel actually. Catching with her back and inside left foot and
not needing to put it on the floor.
Yeah. Huge skill to have. Referees really haven't had to be up and down the floor, but it strikes me right now they gotta have to be on their toes. I think NUIG are coming in terms of their press and trying to kill this game a little bit early here now.
I think they have they've turned the screw a little bit now. All right,
back to a zone by UL. And this is actually where I think Maggie might be actually best in that high post scenario against his own, because they're not getting in there without Maggie there, and they're actually not taking advantage of the mid post.
Yeah.
So you can hear Paul O'Brien identifying stop the ball on Taylor. And a switch again, forcing Taylor to give it up.
That's a tough rebound. Oh, she missed the putback.
She's having a tough day, Uleska, right now.
Yeah.
Nice early pass. Trying to hit the trailer. So she's making everything difficult right now. And
that's a really tough rebound that she attempted. There was no need to make that really tough shot.
I remember when we played in the cup final a couple of years back in Sligo, and Tanner was having a bit of a rough time as well, and we had the timeout, and it was just like, Tanner, just get something simple. Get something easy just to see the ball go through the rim, rather than trying to make things difficult. And
just to settle yourself into the game, just to actually get a bit of a rhythm going. And right now, it's actually getting tougher and tougher.
Without question.
Yeah.
And I think right now there's still loads of time left in this game. It's a 16 point.
Yeah, it's tons.
UL's target right now should be getting this under 10 for half time. Now we've got a game back on. But you've got to make things simple right now rather than difficult. And that's a nice little finish by Taylor.
That's a strong finish. Strong finish by Taylor Hurd.
31-17.
Sarah now trying to dictate the play. They're trying to find that channel cut again. Taylor right there to get a deflection. NUIG ball.
That's good defensive work there by Taylor Hurd again.
Substitution for NUIG Mystics.
I think NUIG have done a really good job guarding Taylor so far. They've smothered, they've switched ball screens, they've congested the lane every time she's put the ball on the floor to get in there. But yes, she's still plugging away, and you can see the experience she has playing a Sweet 16 run. But she just needs a bit of help right now.
Yeah, it's a tough move there from Courtney Césaire for 2. Nice little floater down the middle.
Hazel doing a good job staying in front.
That's really good defense.
Lovely bounce pass full court.
And Taylor back to get the rebound and help out again. I think it's a point we made earlier on at the very beginning, Paul, that when you have 2 players that are exceptional like that, it's his job, it's Paul O'Brien's job to actually take them out of it, which they have effectively done.
Yep. They've done a really good job in that last defensive possession by Hazel Finn, making Taylor turn multiple times. And again, you can see there's just a wall there every time she turns the ball screen at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that we try and identify using ball screens with our players is whenever the second defender engages, that's your time to move.
That's your time, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, right now, there's 2 things happening. Taylor's not moving off the second engagement, and UL aren't being great receivers for her either. So that's something that small adjustment could really make a major change for UL right now to kind of stay in the game. But they're 16 points down. There's over 3.5 minutes left, and it's massive danger time. If this gets to 20, then the game will be done.
Yeah. And in fairness, NUIG have been the type of team that they'll make you. They also haven't been hitting their shots. They're getting different types of scores, but if they do start hitting, it'll put that spread out there a lot more.
I mean, we've been saying that all game, but they haven't hit one yet.
No.
They've stayed with what's worked, and that's the sign of a team that knows how to get the result that they're looking for at this particular moment. So,
and there we go, another steal, and Anya McDonough doing a really good job.
It's probably the one thing against this zone I could probably find a critical point against NUIG. They stop the ball way too easy at the top.
That's Lala Lopez with another steal. And there she is from the corner for 2. Oh, that's a big 3. That's a big 3, so maybe they heard us. They're starting to hit them now.
Well, I'd say right now that they're quite fortunate for that one to win, because that bangs from the side. So like, that was nowhere near just like the way they've been shooting the ball all game. But it might get them going. It might certainly get them going.
Did you hear bank? No?
I saw the window wipers on it.
And Lopez has done a decent job since she came in. She's carrying the ball and moving it around.
Well, when you got a name like Lala, it's going to spice things up. So she's definitely pushed the tempo a little bit. Yeah.
He's a student in NUIG.
So Sarah Messler, and I think she's been really impressive. I think throughout the game, to be honest, she's controlled the tempo, went to increase it, went to be stationary, went to make it a bit more deliberate, and found players that are kind of cutting and stuff like that. I've been really impressed with Sarah Messler.
Yeah, Sarah Messler's a decent player. Came in originally with Sports Changes Life, as did Courtney Césaire as well.
Yeah, well, you know what? Now she's also one of the top rebounders as well as the guards. That's your four
yeah.
top rebounders.
Yeah.
Kind of guards in one respect, you know. So,
Yeah.
and there we are. I think Paul is really looking to put the more than the screw on right now.
Substitution.
I also think he's giving Sarah just that little bit of a breather now. I'd be surprised to see Sarah come back in until the second half. They're up 19, have control of the game.
This is the pressure again. This is the pressure again, and another turnover.
Sorry, it was Courtney that came out there. My apologies.
Maggie Burns going in again. That last substitution, we had Hazel Finn and Aoife Ryan join the game. And there's Sarah Messler out and Maggie Byrne in.
Nice little cut off the pinch post again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into a ball screen.
And that's a roll. Awesome. That's a travel. It's decent defensive pressure there from NUIG Mystics. Limerick with an inbounds from the side. Christina Collins with the ball. O'Connell.
That off-ball defensive positioning from Hazel now obviously reached, but just on that drive there, you could hear Paul O'Brien saying, stay in front, move your feet. But Hazel had this nice little stunt and was able to recover back to that pass in the wing as she was there, but it was actually the reach off the ball that got her in trouble. But that sort of position that's really helped NUIG kind of get deflections and runouts in the second quarter.
And it's also stopped them getting into their stride, really. It hasn't allowed UL Huskies get going, really.
Yeah, and they outside of the last 4 minutes of the first quarter, they've struggled to get the ball up the floor. And we mentioned that earlier on, that if NUIG start to make some buckets, have UL got the ability to get it in quickly, and they haven't shown any sort of ability to get it in quickly to put pressure on the NUIG two players getting back in transition. And it's the first time we've seen that now. They haven't executed it well.
And well done to Aideen Walsh getting back there, and after missing that shot, getting back on the defense and turning over the ball and getting the possession back for her team.
Nice little pass.
Nice pass inside from Anya McDonough.
But that's the strength of the NUIG offense all game is, balls on strong side, weak side cuts into the channel, and they're really putting pressure on the rim with those cuts and those passes. Some of them come off nicely, some of them not so much. So it's just one of those things that if they can get consistency again on it, then they'll be fine. So this little pinch post. And Taylor Hurd, another Sport Changes Life student from last year that didn't get to fulfill playing as a student athlete for a Masters, but coming back to UL Huskies this year.
And this is the first. That foul was on Aideen Walsh. That's her first foul. And Taylor Hurd with her second one now. It's been tough for a lot of these students and a lot of these players not getting game time and missing that last year. It's been a tough time, because especially when it's something that they have a chance to do and then it doesn't just work out.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice block from Anya McDonough. And a recovery from Fiona O'Connell. Nice 2 points.
Timeout coming from NUIG just to stop the rock, so we'll see you in a few minutes.
And we're back in the Parochial Hall. NUIG Mystics against UL Huskies. 36-21 with 36 seconds left in the first quarter and the second quarter. And Taylor Hurd away.
So Limerick Sport Huskies just trying to, and that could have really brought it back to a 13-point game, and then we can have, it's a different conversation now. What the Huskies have to stop the ball here now, not anything happen. 6 seconds left.
Big 3-pointer from Hazel Finn.
Taylor again, and will she get it on the buzzer if it goes? No. So on
Just
the rim.
rimmed on the rim. Half time. We've got a NUIG Mystics leading UL Huskies 36-21. We'll see you for the second half. And we're back in the Parochial Hall with NUIG Mystics playing Limerick Sport Huskies, and the halftime score is NUIG Mystics leading 36-21. So Paul, at halftime we were just looking there and going through the scores. The two leading scorers averaging nearly 60 points a game is in Yuleska Ramirez and Taylor Hurd, both on 2 and 3 points respectively. That's a really good defensive job from NUIG.
Yeah, I mean it's basically what we had said before the game, is that like for NUIG to be successful in this game, it was going to be an internal battle, which is what you can see. They're getting so many pain points from their cuts, and also defending Yuleska and Taylor Hurd. They've done those two things really, really well. From a UL perspective, they've done their best, and there's Yuleska. You know, that's the type of finisher she should have had all game. We'd be talking about different points differentiation, but like the thing about it right now is that's the stuff that you can't let NUIG do when you make such a great score yourself on the other end. And you can see the tempo of the game right now is from and they've moved Taylor off the point actually, which is interesting, and started Cathy in the at the point in the second half. And it'll be interesting to see what they do now and how they defend that NUIG. So now Taylor gets the shot off uncontested, better than what she did in the first half. So good rebound by Courtney.
Good job.
Now I also think NUIG could increase the tempo, if I'm being perfectly honest, because that's where they've gotten a lot of their joy, and still not making any attempts to even showing that they're going to find any rhythm from the 3-point line.
Yeah, well I agree, because with the likes of, you have the likes of Hazel Finn, Courtney Césaire and Cara McLean in there, and you have Alison Blaney in there who can get up and down the floor. So yeah, it's something that they possibly could do.
Yep. You know, like both teams, like their average for and against. So like Limerick Sport Eagle or Limerick Sport Huskies are averaging 71.2 points a game this year, and they're giving up 65.85. NUIG are averaging 76.5 and giving up 59.33. Right. So right now we're nowhere near the level. Actually, NUIG
are
probably
fairly
on point, and they're on point for their defensive, probably beating their average of defensive game, if I'm being honest. But you know, Limerick Sport Huskies really have to do a better job now of doing something that they haven't done all year, which is really try and push beyond their averages of getting to over 70 points. And even at that right now, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah.
You know, you look at where NUIG right now are 38. I think they're going to make that 25-30 points. You know, to get over 70 by all. You know, so that's talking an over 50-point second half by Limerick Sport Huskies, and they haven't shown any sign of being able to get that in the second.
It's also half. They're quite a difficult team, because they rotate the ball really well, and each one of those rotations have the possibility of a score.
Yeah,
you know, so you can't just cheat off any of those, because that possibility is there all the time.
Exactly. So like they just have too many threats, and there's 6 major.
That's a really nice shot from Evan Coates.
Yeah,
that's a really nice shot. Evan Cross for 2.
So the only way really, I think, you know, Huskies have getting back in this game is all their defense, which will lead to runouts, but that's just a bad choice out of Yuleska.
I think Coach O'Brien is asking them to push the ball up the floor.
Like, it just becomes a tennis match in terms of just getting up on the floor. It's going to remain a 10-point game. I think NUIG will be okay, but
it's a blocking foul on Sarah Messler. She's okay and up. It's an NUIG ball from the baseline.
Second person foul now across.
Alison Blaney for 3.
Nice rebound by Taylor Hurd.
Good rebound from Taylor Hurd.
You can see her scanning the entire floor the whole time. She's looking for options. It's just not there for
and here's Courtney. with the turnover, Courtney Saucier.
Limerick Huskies. Timeout.
And that's
coming already.
2 points.
That's a 2-point and a turnover and a steal for Courtney Saucier, and that's bringing it up to 39 to 36. And we're back with Taylor Hurd on the ball.
And we just overheard there in the Limerick Sport Huskies timeout that they're looking for secondary breaks. They're too focused on primary and not knowing what to do after the second one. And there's Sophie Moore's first bucket of the game.
Sophie Moore.
And that's back to 12. But they do need to be able to play after the primary transition breaks down. I think one of the things that's happened is NUIG have done a good job in making sure that they're taking away the passing lanes for the secondary break to occur. Have a cross with another rebound.
That's Avril Cross for 2.
Yeah, and it's back to a 10-point game now. 10-point game. You can see the tempo and the energy has changed all of a sudden. You can see
that timeout for Limerick Sport Huskies definitely worked because their intensity has come back up and they're hitting the shots.
And they're more on their feet. You can see it. They're more anticipating right now and trying to be a bit more active defensively. There's Uleska getting there. Nice little block by Hazel. Limerick Sport Huskies ball.
Alison Blaney comes out of the game and Anya McDonough goes back in.
Nice little screener. Not open. Tough pass in now.
Yeah. That's very demoralising for a coach there now, you know, when you're looking to get that extra 2 points on the board and break that 10-point barrier.
There's still 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Limerick Sport Huskies. Avril Cross is coming right up, and there's an awful lot of space behind that. And let's see if NUIG can take advantage of that. But float her again.
It's a foul after the shot from number 1, Hazel Finn. That's her third personal foul.
So you can see they're trying to go through.
That's really
Taylor.
good defense. That's really good defensive work from Cara McLean right there. She was all over.
But she made Kathy pick it up. And Taylor's on the ball now, and she's pushing it. She's turning to the defense. And she's looking again, and there's just not enough. There's Uleska. Nice finish. And now the 10-point barrier. Now we got to do the game on, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at those 2 players again. Taylor Hurd, she created that missed offensive rebound. She created that missed offensive move for NUIG, and then they came down and they scored 2 against them.
Yep. But it's all because their defense, their positioning is way better right now. The body language has changed. A timeout coming for NUIG against Limerick Sport Huskies. And Avril Cross has made one already from there. Not so much. Taylor Hurd getting it. Nice little reverse layup, and now we're back to 6. Timeout NUIG. We got a game in our hands, Mike. See you in a few
Absolutely.
seconds.
Absolutely, we were saying about that intensity. We'll be right back.
So, Mike, we spoke at half-time about two things, NUIG's defence, causing problems. We spoke about Limerick Sport Huskies having improved their defence to get run-outs because that was their only possibility of getting it. I loved what Limerick Sport Huskies did in the last defensive possession. Their positioning is quite good. The ball's in Taylor's hands. For any young player, one thing I'd love to point out right now is how she's changed direction and having her eyes scanning. And Uleska's body language has really improved now. She's really putting it in. But just from a guard perspective, Taylor's eyes are constantly up and she's seeing everything going on right now. But she's looking for options. If Limerick Sport Huskies improve on being better receivers, NUIG could be in spot of problem. But NUIG right now have shown that they're capable of scoring in bunches that Limerick Sport Huskies haven't. And they need to get back to doing that, and that is the tempo. Courtney's on the ball. She created a lot in the first half. She needs to get back to doing that again.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And you're so right. Taylor Hurd has been involved in everything that Limerick Sport Huskies have done. But yeah, I think NUIG Mystics just have to get back to their core game,
Which is
start shooting the ball and actually make a few threes too. That would help.
Nice little pinch post reversal. And there's the first one maybe. Nope. A little bit close.
Tough rebound.
Nice rebound by Uleska. And they're gone again. Skip pass. There's Taylor. That's the stopping pass. I hate the ball being stopped at the top of the key. I don't mind on the wing, but at the top of the key I think it's really the worst place you can stop the ball because you've allowed the defense
That's
recover.
a really tough offensive rebound there from Hurd again.
Nice.
Missed the layup. Anya McDonough missed that drive, but worked really hard to get the offensive rebound, and now it's an NUIG baseline ball.
But Anya McDonough, what is she? She's 6 foot carrying the ball like that.
Oh yeah,
that's a great skill to have for any player at that length. But she's been really aggressive with the ball in the middle of the floor all game. And now I fear NUIG are just jacking stuff up because they're trying to maintain a lead.
And again, that's really tough offensive rebounds from Hazel Finn. Your guards being in there doing a job like that, it's really good, and going to the line for two.
Interesting exchange here now coming in on the substitutions.
Give Taylor Hurd.
I think this will be at best a 30-second breather. I'd be shocked to see her not get back in.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's blown either.
No.
She looks like she'd play all day long.
I think NUIG needed these couple of free throws. They needed the clock to stop because I think Limerick Sport Huskies' tempo really was putting them on the back foot. So I think this is a welcome breather for NUIG Mystics.
Yeah, that's two big free throws, bringing the lead back up to 8 points too.
What's surprising here, NUIG have jumped on the fact that Limerick Sport Huskies 2 guards are off the floor right now. Very surprised to see Kathy and Taylor off the floor together.
Both. And Ramirez not carrying the ball. She's well able to do, but she's not.
Yeah. So
that's dead. That's a dead ball.
Yeah. By scoring, NUIG have actually made it difficult again for Limerick Sport Huskies, because they've proved the entire game that when they're against the half-court defence, they've struggled.
Yes.
So by scoring, they've eliminated that tempo right off the bat.
But there's some tough guards to play against.
Nice skip pass. Can Sophie Moore make the 3? No, nowhere near it. Nice little offensive rebound.
And shot clock violation there.
And they're the things like when you're getting offensive rebounds, they've got to really hit the rim. I remember a couple of years back we played Aina below in Limerick, and we were 1 up with 11 seconds to go, and we shot as the clock was going off, and we never hit the rim. And they got an advantage and hit a buzzer beater, and we ended up losing the game. But by hitting the rim, it just changed everything. It takes a few seconds off the clock, and obviously allows you to get the offensive rebound on the catch as well and reset the 14-second.
But not even that, but psychologically for the players, that's a really big thing. That, a shot clock violation means it's just not going for you, and it's a tough one to come back. That's a lovely move from Hazel Finn, and she got the rebound.
She's been really aggressive the last 60 seconds, Hazel.
That's Anya McDonough for a big 3. And what a
rebound again.
Oh my God, man. That's a tough rebound.
They're the breakers right there. That's 3 offensive rebounds by Hazel Finn. You can see it right now. Paul Bryan has been really calm the entire game, but right now he feels like his team's defense isn't at the level required. And he's really encouraging when he's on his knees, and he's bringing a bit more energy himself.
Yeah.
And that's helped the on-ball defense.
And I think you're right here. Taylor Hurd's back in the game for Limerick Sport Huskies, so it wasn't that long of a breather.
Yeah, 47 seconds. But there was a significant amount of damage in that 47 seconds. Went from a 6-point lead to 12 points.
Yeah.
1 has to go. Not yet. Great rebound again. And you have to ask the question, if Taylor was on the floor, would Hazel have gotten those 3 offensive rebounds?
And that's a defensive rebound for Hazel.
Yep. McDonough. Early pass ahead. Great cut through. Freeing up momentum space for the reversal. That's that stop again.
And a tough basket from Sarah Messler.
Nice little crossover.
Oh, that's a really...
Just got caught in a bit of a traffic jam on that back screen. The high-low was there, just a little small deflection. That was a nice idea by Ava Cross to try and find the high-low into a Taylor Hurd for Limerick Sport Huskies.
And Maggie Byrne is back in the game, and Sarah Messler has come out. And what a pass, lovely pass from Maggie Byrne. That's a really nice pass and a really nice backdoor cut.
I think it's what they've been missing.
Yeah.
They've been very passive around the 3-point line. The majority of the quarter, but Maggie just gives them that ability to penetrate the lane with her passing, and obviously then with the cutting with it, so they've been penetrating the lane a little bit differently with passes as opposed to putting the ball on the floor.
Absolutely, and if they step off, she loves that little shot from the top as well. She has a high percentage shot from the top, so if they do step off her, she's got that shot too.
Yeah.
So it's really a tough one to defend. And she made the free throw. Anya McDonough makes the free throw.
So just a bit of a technical issue there, apologies. But the on-ball defense right now. On-ball defense right now by NUIG on Cathy Grant has really stepped up and has caused problems. Taylor Hurd looking to go inside right now. Nice little low high into Abercross. Nice little rip through finish. Some really nice skill sets there now by Limerick Sport Huskies. Taylor Hurd showing her eclectic ability to play inside out. So you've lost one microphone, my apologies, so you'll have to listen to my voice for a few minutes. So 15-point game, 30 seconds left, 36-51 to NUIG Mystics. Turnover, the defensive pressure, and a little bit of a shoulder defense by Limerick Sport Huskies. So 2 shots coming for NUIG Mystics.
Christina Collins, second personal foul.
So our system has frozen here. I'm sorry. I don't know whether it's lost it on the feed, but we'll keep going as we are. NUIG Mystics up 51-36. Aveen Walsh going to the line and making the second one, so it's 52-36.
So Cathy breaking the press. Nice little secondary ball screen into a stagger ball screen. Blocked by NUIG Mystics. But that tempo was a little bit better there, Mike. Cathy having the defense chase, came back, trailer ball screen by Abercross, with Sophie Moore creating the stagger.
Yeah, Abercross does a very similar job up the top for them, and again has a really nice shot from like 10-15 feet.
Which we've seen her try to take early in the third quarter.
That's a big three, and just rims out for Alison
They're getting
Blady.
closer, Mike. They're getting closer. They're hitting the rim now.
So at the end of the third, we're 52-36 in favour of NUIG.
So we've lost our feed for some reason right now, but we'll try and guide you as best we possibly can in our analysis. So early in that fourth quarter, there's 9:29 left. It's 38-52 to NUIG Mystics. Couple of run-outs here by Limerick Sport Huskies, and Taylor Hurd at the line for 2.
And that's the first. That's the first.
And missed the second. And one of the things that we identified early in the game was the 84% free throw shooting of Taylor Hurd, and I think she's 1 for 6 for the day so far. So not the level that she's normally at from the free throw line, but I think she's actually had a decent enough game so far, and trying to really drag Limerick Sport Huskies through this difficult game for them so far. But you know what? They've had a couple of deflections. Kathy Grant had a run out there. She got blocked on the transition, but their defense has really improved.
Cara McLean for 3.
Nice rebound again by Taylor Hurd, letting it go early. And now it's back to a 12-point game, 52-40. Lovely full court assist by Taylor Hurd.
52 plays 40. 9 minutes to play in the game.
So, little steal by Taylor. They've gotten it. Letting it go again. It's that decision making by Limerick Sport Huskies in the final pass that has hurt them the majority of the game.
Definitely, and that would have been a big 2 points to get them back to 10 points.
Yep.
Maggie Byrne steps out, and Sarah Messler back in. As we said, we've lost our feed, so we'll just keep going as we see here.
I think putting Courtney Sear back onto the point might just be a good move there now for NUIG Mystics. She really controlled the game in the first half. She's back to now move the ball to McDonough. NUIG Mystics really struggling to get inside that defense by Limerick Sport Huskies right now. Taylor Hurd's battling on her own. She's in the open floor again, leaving it go to Sophie Moore, and it's Courtney Cesare getting the steal. Tempo of the game has really improved.
Anya McDonough for 3.
It hits the wire on the rim. So it's going to be a Limerick Sport Huskies ball.
In fairness, if NUIG had hit any of these shots, Paul, the game wouldn't be here, you know.
Well, I'll counter that, because I do think if they hit shots, but I also think Limerick Sport Huskies have missed a ton of layups that have kept them in the game. So I think there's a balance. I think they both had their misfortunes. I think they both had the chance of, and there's another fantastic finish by Taylor Hurd.
It's a really tough finish.
So it's back to a 10-point game, 42-52. Nice little up and under.
Oh yeah.
Little Euro
shot
step
from Cara McLean.
And Taylor.
That's a 3 from Taylor, and it's missed. And the rebound from Courtney Cesare.
A lovely full court pass. Not the best of finishes, but offensive rebound right there. And Kathy Grant with the defensive rebound. She's pushing it. The on-ball pressure again on Kathy.
That's Ava McLean doing the job right there. Just a bit over exuberant and called for the foul.
And that right there, if you could see it, is another small detailed point in terms of not picking up fouls. Her defensive position was really good, her pressure was good, but she just came out of her stance and used her hips a little bit. So that's the point where you just kind of keep your shoulders over your toes, keep that little bit of space that you don't get called for those hip checks and on body calls.
Absolutely.
Leska trying to find a bit of space.
They do know they got to get the ball inside all the time.
So McDonough on the open floor, which is she's caused real damage for Limerick Sport Huskies all game.
Great job by Maggie Byrne.
Maggie Byrne with the offensive rebound.
Didn't get the putback. And then an off defensive rebound by Uleska.
And that's the difference. Uleska really has just stopped it. She had the open floor to attack, stopped it, and let the NUIG Mystics fight defenders. Wonderful pass by Abel Cross to Taylor Hurd in the weak side channel. So we're back to a 10-point game, 44-54. 6:42 remaining. Maggie Byrne atop the key. Look for a high-low pass, not there. Limerick Sport Huskies ball.
Timeout called.
So I'm back on my own again. We seem to have picture, albeit not on our end, but there's no scoreboard, so I keep reiterating the score as much as I possibly can. So it's 44-54, 6:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. So NUIG Mystics ball off the jump. So the jump ball will be quite significant as we get closer to the end of the game if this game remains tight and it gets to a closer game. But NUIG Mystics keeping on the one side of the floor. Nice little weak side cut hitting the top of the key. Rebound by Limerick Sport Huskies. Taylor Hurd on the ball trying to do her thing. She's calling an offensive scheme. Ball moved, and there's Taylor. She's looking to get that three off. Nice little down pin to get Uleska on the ball. Tough shot, little block. Thought that was going to be a Limerick Sport Huskies ball, but no. Little wet patch.
Floor, please, floor.
So Mike is back with us.
Yeah. So we're going to try and manually do the score as we go. We're just having a little technical issue. But we'll keep you updated as we go. So it's an NUIG ball. Courtney Cesare on the ball for NUIG.
So, I mean, we spoke before half-time, Mike, that we felt this game was getting away from Limerick Sport Huskies. And now we're in the midst with 5:38 remaining. We've got a bit of a game in our hand. And nice offensive rebound by
offensive rebound by Messler. And a tough move by Hazel Finn, but just short on the on the layup.
Leslie coming down the floor. And that angle is where she had this huge problems in the first half. Back to 8 points, 46-54.
46-54 right now, exactly. That's a tough move, Paul.
Tough move, but she's struggling in the first half with that. That's what was causing all the problems in the first place. So I was surprised she went in that angle.
That's Hazel Finn for three.
And there we go.
And there we go. That's a big three for Hazel Finn, bringing it back up to 57-46.
So Leska. The table tennis there. Our ping pong. A nice little cut. Wonderful pass. Great weak side cut from Uleska. And the finish going to the three. Line for a 3-point play.
Really nice weak side cut. But also the work from Hurd underneath the basket again to actually get that offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Really tough going.
I would be surprised if, I think the way Paul has coached the game, he will make some more subs right as the game goes on, but I'd be very surprised to see Limerick Sport Huskies make any changes from here, and I think this is going to be their fight to finish out the game now with 4:32 remaining.
Yeah, it's a good chance. Well, also depends. They've worked really hard that 5-2, you know.
Yeah, but unless they get into major foul trouble, this is their fight that will get them through the game, I think.
It's a slight turnover there from Cara McLean.
Trying to get an extra few seconds. Kathy. And this is where I think NUIG in the fourth quarter have really kind of maintained
It's a big
the
turnover.
lead. Is when Kathy Grant has been on the ball, they've put so much pressure on her.
Yeah.
And they've really forced her into turning her back into it, and that's where a lot of the turnovers have come from. So I think, you know, from a Limerick Sport Huskies perspective, they gotta get Taylor on the ball because that pressure isn't going on Taylor as much as Kathy Grant is.
Yeah. Oh, what a move. Nice move from Alison Blaney, but again, just short.
Yeah.
They're just slightly short on the finish.
Leska even making the simplest of layups, trying to be a bit difficult right now.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that we really try and emphasise is being balanced at the rim, and we would really demanded a what we call a pro stop at that point, where you're just getting the intimidating land, bumping off the defender and using that contact and finishing off the glass. Whereas she got bumped as she was in the air with a double pump, and that they're difficult finishes regardless of what athletic ability you have or
And in
not.
fairness, the foul bailed her out, I think,
100%.
Yeah. But she's to the line for two. We're still at 57-48 in favour of NUIG Mystics. And she missed the first.
So the top two free throw shooters on the team, 87 and 84, have not been very productive from the line today.
And missed the second. The intensity rate, you have to admire the intensity rate of Taylor Hurd.
Yeah.
She's just continuous. It's been non-stop all game long.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, that's you got a little slight deflection, put Hazel off a small bit on that one. Nice little kick out.
And a nice offensive rebound from Alison Blaney.
Oh, wonderful pass. Ooh, late call by the ref. But wonderful pass by Sarah Mester to another weak side cut to Hazel Finn that we identified earlier on.
But isn't this something that it's guards that are going in there, and I don't think a lot of people don't expect the likes of Hazel or the players of like Courtney or whatever to be actually going in there.
Yeah,
and they go in there with great intensity.
But it's where they cut from and where they're coming from. It's the blind section. So like when you don't see it coming from the blind side, that's what causes delayed reactions and the fouls that Uleska just gave up there, because she reacted to it, but it was late because it came from blind side. So that was interesting.
And she made the second, so we're back to a 10-point lead for 58-48. And also, here we go with this is the intensity that you talked about earlier on.
Yeah.
And Ramirez got the ball, and that's a
Finish.
tough.
That wide finish with the right hand out there. That's what she's trying to do all
But it's a
game.
spin finish. That's a tough finish.
It's a tough finish.
Really finish.
Now here's the thing. Like when you go into possessions in the game, there's 3 minutes left. 3:02. NUIG are up 3 possessions, and that's what you got to look at it right now. So all threes is 3 possessions. So how you defend that now with ball pressure is going to be significantly interesting. Tough offensive rebound. But
Nice tough offensive rebound from Ali Blaney, but then again that missed 3.
Now it's a 4 possession game, so you got 3 back to it. Yeah, so timeout coming on right now from NUIG because Paul Bryan's not happy with the transition defense of his team. See the 2 seconds?
And it's 60-51 with 2:37 left in the fourth.
All right.
Okay, and we're back, and it's NUIG possession.
So we missed a point there. It's 52-60 with 2:32 remaining. You know, it's going to be an interesting last couple of minutes here now. And I think the next significant score, McDonough with the 3, nowhere near. Offensive rebound. Hazel has absolutely dominated the glass in the last couple of minutes. Oh, lovely stop and go.
Pick. What a pass. What a pass. Great job.
Again.
And that pick up the top ball made that.
Yeah, but you look at the stop and go into the ball screen. Some people think you got to take the ball screen at 1,000,000 miles an hour. She stopped, she set her up, faked it and went back off it, and that forced Taylor to go over the ball screen, and that really created the separation to kick it back high post, high low on the weak side channel cut. So lovely execution of a ball screen.
And we're back to a 10 points difference with 62-52 in favour of NUIG Mystics.
Like really,
that's a big turnover right there.
Limerick Sport Huskies need to get it to 6 under with 30 seconds. That's 2 possessions, and they haven't shot the 3 well. But at the same time, you still want to be in a 2-possession game with 30 seconds to go, or 35 seconds.
Yeah. Bit of a disagreement on that last call.
Did we miss a technical foul there? I think.
I don't think. Well.
Yes, we did.
Technical foul.
That's
a tough.
It's a tough one now. Not the time of the game to be getting one.
It was because of that turnover, and it was a difficult call, but you know.
I think it hasn't been that game. Nowhere near it.
No.
Near it. And I think that could have been handled a lot better. Didn't get punished on it.
No, it's been played in a great atmosphere, in fairness, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been tough and physical, but it's been played in a really good sporting.
Like Limerick Sport Huskies are winning the second half by 5 points right now. I think they've been the better team in the second half. By a proverbial mile, NUIG were the better team in the first half. So let's see where this goes. This is a big possession here now for Limerick Sport Huskies. Big possession.
That's big defense. They got to stop that ball early because.
Big one by Sophie. She needs one to go. Another offensive rebound by Kathy. Big one. Now it's a 3-possession game. This is the again now,
point game.
Every possession from here on in now is the biggest possession of the game. So it doesn't count unless you get a stop. The score.
Oh, what a pass! What a pass from Alison Blaney. And got Hazel Finn on the backdoor cut.
Yeah.
Super move.
She really had to spin, and there's your pressure.
And there's Ali, and another turnover from Alison Blaney.
Yeah.
With 1:15 or 1:04, left on the clock at 64-54, and we got a foul off the ball.
Yeah, I think Hazel Finn has been a significant contributor now in the fourth quarter. Timeout called by Limerick Sport Huskies.
We'll be right back.
All right. So
we're back. A little bit of confusion about possession. It should be an NUIG ball, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got 1:05 left on the clock, and it's 64-54 in favour of NUIG Mystics. Hazel Finn inbounding the ball to Courtney Cessair.
Oh, I love that. Messler didn't see that she was open and went to rescreen Hazel. That was wonderful. But the ball was on the one side and didn't get reversed. So Messler again.
Messler again. And
Hazel
another
Finn
offensive
again.
rebound.
Hazel Finn again with the offensive rebound, and by far the standout player in the fourth quarter. But I think her teammates have done an absolutely exceptional job, as we spoke about earlier, in terms of the timing and knowing your players. They've realised that that's what Hazel was going to do at this stage of the game, and found her in tremendous timing of the pass.
Yeah, absolutely. And making those free throws, so we're up to 66-54.
So, like,
Sorry, 65-54.
the game earlier in October was 65-60 to NUIG Mystics, and we're in and around that at the minute with obviously 54-65. So
That's 3 big offensive rebounds for Alison Blaney in the last 5
lovely the cut again. The cutting of NUIG Mystics has been tremendous in the fourth quarter, and they've been the reason why they've...
two, so it's 67-54 right now, and it's a steal by Courtney Cessair. Alison Blaney on the ball.
26 seconds left in a 3.
And she hits a 3. She hits a 3. Her first 3 of the game. That's Courtney Cessair, and it's 70-54 right now. That, in fairness, doesn't reflect the game.
No,
Do you
definitely
know?
not. I think to be fair to NUIG Mystics, they've had that distinct lead the entire game, and Limerick Sport Huskies have been chasing. And I think it was always just one run away from extending it out to 15 points the entire game. So I think, a tremendously sporting game.
Absolutely,
some really nice skill sets, and I thought both teams fought hard to try and stay where they were at the whole game. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. And, I know I'm back here for Drogheda versus Carlow in the next game.
Great stuff, Paul. Thanks a million, and well done. Cheers.